so it's the morning of my appointment. We're about to head to the car. I guess I should probably explain what's going on. So maybe I'll explain after. I don't. Basically, I have basal cell carcinoma and I have to have my skin cut off. Oh, cheers. It's good though. Okay, so surgery is done and me and Joe are eating, or we're about to. We're gonna get something to eat to celebrate that it's over. I'm gonna talk to you guys more about it later because I don't want to cry again at the table.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, so we're home now. We went to CVS to pick up my medication for my antibiotic and like gauze and stuff because I'm gonna need to change the bandages. So I have been like not wanting to do this because I feel like I knew I wasn't gonna like handle this to the best of my ability. I feel like my arm looks so weird. So this is a little better. This is a super weird setup I have, and I don't know why I'm doing it because I legit have a tripod, but instead I have you guys on top of an iPad stacked. It's iPad, coaster, and an upside down cup. So let's see. How do I get into this? Okay. So if you guys were watching before now, I did a video sometime like last year. I'll try to link it above, where I talked about having a spot on my chest and wanting to get it checked out. So I did that. They told me I had a skin infection. I got some cream. I applied the cream. Didn't go away. So I went back to the doctor and they told me that they believed I had eczema. And I know a lot of people with eczema and everyone's like, yeah, it takes a long time for it to go away and yada yada yada. So I'm like, okay, so at least like there's nothing wrong and I don't have to freak out anymore. So it just didn't go away. So I had it for like over a year and it still didn't go away. And I was kind of like, I feel like I need to get this checked, which I did during my vlog. I don't know how long before that vlog went up, but I'll link that up here as well. And I got it checked. And I also got another spot checked. I had a mole here, which turned out to be a mole. And then this turned out to be basal cell carcinoma, which is basically, I don't know if I'm even explaining this right. I never had anybody actually explain it to me. My dad kind of referred to it as like pre-cancer. It's basically like you have cancer cells on your skin, but not, I don't know if it's, I mean, it's on your skin, it's part of your skin, but it's not melanoma, so it's not like, it's very unlikely for it to kill you. So I feel like I don't know what to do with my hands. You just need to get it cut out. You need to get all of the skin in that area cut out that has the cancer cells in it. So that is what I did today. So I was kind of freaking out about it. I wasn't really freaking out. I was freaking out a little bit about the cells because I had had them for so long and I wasn't really sure like what that would mean. But other than that, I wasn't really freaking out about that. I was more freaking out about the fact that I know I don't handle medical situations very well. So I had a lot of anxiety about this process, and I had a lot of anxiety during this process. Basically what happened was I arrived. Joe sat with me for a minute. He came in with me, and then they had me come into the doctor. Joe stayed outside. He ended up sitting in the car and waiting for me. And so I went in, and they cut me. They numbed me first, and then they cut me. And they cauterized it, which basically means they took a little like pen and burned my skin back closed. And then I had to sit in the waiting room and wait for them to test what they cut off. And then after they tested that, they had to see whether or not they got it all. If they got it all, then I get to go home. If they didn't, I go back and they cut me open again. Well, I don't get to go home. I'd have to get stitches, and then I get to go home. And then if they didn't get it all, you have to go back in. So they didn't get it all, so I did have to go in and get it cut again. This time felt a little different. It kind of felt like they were like digging in there, which I don't know. Like I didn't look. I couldn't look. I was shaking the whole time. I actually think at one point I cried. They didn't know it, but I felt it like pour down the side of my face. And one of the doctors held my hand the whole time. They were very nice about it, but I know I did not handle it well. And even when they called me to go in for the second time, like I was ready to cry because I did not want to do this. Driving over there, all I could think is, I don't want to do this. And so luckily the second time they got it all, and I didn't have to go back and get cut into again. But I did have to have them actually cut me open and then stitch me closed, which was not fun. I've never had stitches before, so that wasn't fun, feeling someone literally sewing your body. Like, I've sewn clothes before, and having that sensation going through part of my body was very uncomfortable. Like, I can't imagine what having a baby is going to be like. Like, if this, I couldn't even handle this. I feel like I'm going to have a whole full-on panic attack. So, yeah. Basically, that was kind of the end of it. They cauterized me again. So every once in a while, I can still smell the burning of my skin. I don't know if it's like on my clothes or it's on my necklace. Let me see. Is it on my clothes? No, I think it's just I can smell my skin. Or maybe it's just stuck in my nose. I don't know. I can't stop playing with my hands. I know a lot of people who have had this happen, and it wasn't a big deal for them. This was a big deal for me because I have anxiety about these things. Like my sister said that when she got this done, it wasn't that big of a deal. My dad has this done all the time, and he's like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. For me, it was a big deal because my mind made it a big deal. I know a lot of people who have had stitches, and it's not that big of a deal for them. For me, this was a big deal. So, if you're watching this and you have to go through this process, don't necessarily freak out and think that this is like going to be a horrible thing. I mean, I'm sure it's not a pleasant experience for anyone, but it might not be the worst thing. For me, it was horrible. But that was because my mind set it up that way. And it sucks. Really sucks. So basically afterwards I left, I cried. Joe was very nice to me, and he took me out and got me waffles, and now we're home. I got my antibiotics and I got everything I need to set up my bandages and everything when I need to change them tomorrow. And I think we're gonna just chill for the night. I wanted to do this vlog because I wanted to talk about, one, having anxiety around medical things. It sucks and it's hard, and I feel like part of me was very frustrated because it was like everybody kept telling me, you're fine, everything's fine, like why are you even stressing about this, it's not that big of a deal. But for me it's a big deal. So if you feel like it's a big deal for you, don't let anybody tell you that it's not a big deal. It's you, it's your decision whether or not it's a big deal. I also feel like, you know, you might want to know the process of what happens. It's not super invasive. It feels, well, at least for me, it felt invasive because it was literally right here. I'm not sure if it was like, if it had been the one on my arm, if I would feel the same way. But this is like literally right here, like I'm gonna have a scar and people are gonna be able to see it. If it had been on my face, like I feel like it feels like a lot. It feels very invasive. So just kind of filling you in on my experience with it. If anyone else has had this experience and wants to talk about it, please do, because, you know, I just, you know, I think talking about it helps, because I feel like when I was in the waiting room, they could see I was kind of freaking out, and there was like 2 women that had gone through this several times, and they were like talking to me, and they were like, sometimes I feel like that too, but sometimes it's, you know, just the thing that I've had happen a bunch of times. So it's, you know, it's nice to talk to somebody. And if you feel stressed, it's nice to know that other people are stressed about the same thing you're stressed about. But okay, I'm gonna kind of end this here. I don't know if I got my full point across in that, but you know, I just felt like I should talk about it. So there it is. Thanks for watching.
I wish you could see yourself just sitting there on my chair. I'm staring at you, you don't even notice. Should've told you straight away.